What's up, everyone? This is Saiyan back once again for some more Let's Replay Pokemon Blue version. In the last part, we got through a big-ass route that we had to take in order to get here to the rock tunnel. We also got through quite a bit of the rock tunnel itself. So, let us continue through said rock tunnel. Of course, every time you exit the damn thing, you gotta use Flash all over again. Also, I should switch my leader to you. Just so you can actually get some experience. So, going back to what we were talking about last part, and I forgot to put on fucking repels, of course. I feel like every generation should stand on its own 2 feet. The last two games, the 6th and 7th generations, always have had the original red and blue generations shoved right down our throats, or right into our faces. I want the generations to stand on their own merits. It shouldn't have to piggyback on the success of the first genre or generation of games. Like with 3, 4, and 5, they didn't jump on the fucking let's get the original generation up in this bitch train. They wanted to run on their own two wheels. And 2 was more about linking Johto and Kanto together, so it wasn't exactly piggybacking off of it. It was just trying to connect the world. Which I'm kind of sad that more of the games don't actually do that. It means so many people have asked for the regions to be explored in one game, or have at least 2 generations in a game. Like, say you want to connect Alola and Hoenn. They're both similar regions. Similar, not exact. They both revolve around the water. And there's no real big problem with that. And the only way to get from Kanto and Johto was by train, or if you surfed right past a certain point of Johto into Kanto. But for the most part, people just use the damn train. And again, that wasn't established until Gold and Silver Crystal, so you can kind of say that they didn't exactly establish the subway until those games, but doesn't mean it doesn't happen. You could say that there's like a ferry from Hoenn to Alola, or I believe they're trying very hard to connect Alola and Kanto. But unless you can actually go to Kanto, it's a bit hit or miss. You can definitely see a lot of Kanto Pokemon in the regional forms, of course. Like Alolan Sandshrew, Alolan Raichu, the whole 9 yards. But you can't go to that region. That's a little bit sad considering Gen 2 is the only one that actually did it. But before I get people bitching at me and saying that I hate Pokemon or I think other series are perfect, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that I know that's true. The Sonic franchise has been floundering for the past few fucking entries. And I can say that because I am a fan, I do like the game, but I do not like the fact that it constantly has to shift what the hell the main thing of the game is. Like going from Generations to Lost World. The whole thing about Lost World is about the whole parkour thing, whereas Generations is more about the traditional boosting mechanic of the modern series, or using the classic side-scrolling of the original Genesis games. There is no fucking consistency. I wish they would pick one thing that they want to accomplish with the game and just stick with it. But no, and just about every fucking entry, they have to change something. So no, I don't think that Pokemon is the only one that needs to change. Sonic definitely needs to change. And again, they changed Zelda with Breath of the Wild. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but hey, to me others. It reminds me more of, reminds me a lot of Monster Hunter for some reason. I don't know why, I never really played Monster Hunter, but I've seen it. I've seen what they do. You're telling me I've already been through most of this place. Thankfully there's only one more floor left. And this guy's just gonna have 4 Geodudes. And shit, some franchises don't even get past like 5 entries. Let's look at like Star Fox. There's the original on the Super Nintendo. There's 64, which is basically a fucking remake. There's Adventures, which a lot of people fucking despise, despite a lot of people liking it. You always clamor about it being a fucking Zelda clone, but why is that a bad thing? If Zelda does well. Logic, people, please. And after that was Star Fox Assault, which went back to basics. We're up to 4 games, and one of them is a fucking remake. And Star Fox Zero, which no one gives 2 flying fucks about. I believe that might be another remake, but I'm not too sure. I really haven't paid much attention to Star Fox, considering it died for me after Assault. No, yeah, that Star Fox Command game that no one really talks about anymore. Star Fox is pretty much dead. They don't really change anything about it. It's the same basic shit. That's the thing they gotta get off the ground first. No pun intended, considering they fly in Orleans and all that shit, but they gotta find some kind of ground to get on before they start actually going somewhere. My throat is fucking with me something fierce. Well, I continue going. So I should go back to the Pokemon Center, but I don't find it to be that important right now, since I've got Potions. And again, Leech Seed is kind of losing its PP. Seriously, they couldn't call it something else. Hopefully I can avoid some of these. Just trying to rush right through this place. Metroid's been fucked over too. Again, they don't know what the hell they're doing. The first 3 games, all about exploration, finding weaponry, items, and the like, and ultimately destroying some big bad. Simple. Then we move over to Prime, which made it all 3D, so they're basically following the same formula, but it's in 3D. Because games like that pretty much have to jump to the 3D at some point. And after the Prime series, they got Other M, which is a fucking disaster. Oh, not to mention they had Fusion, which is pretty fucking awesome, but of course, there's no game that follows it, which is a bit of a bummer. Get on that, Nintendo. But Other M was a giant fucking shit show. Had to dive into Samus's character for some fucking reason. Look, we get it. She's a bounty hunter and she lost her parents. Does that really have to be a giant focal point of the game? No, it doesn't. So I believe in Metroid 2, you pretty much go back to the place where her parents pretty much died. It's the place of the Chozo. And of course, there's that whole fiasco about that remake that someone made of 2, and Nintendo had a big shitstorm about that, so maybe they'll never listen. They're more stuck in the past than people with fucking Peter Pan syndrome. Yeah, let's just try and get out of here, because my guys are very weak at this point, and I want to go heal up. If need be, I'll come back and take care of these guys later. It really isn't that big of a deal. I believe that this is the last one that actually fights us on the way out. Strange that we're only at 10 minutes. I've been ranting and raving for 10 fucking minutes. Now, one series I wish would kind of come back and fight against Pokemon is Digimon, but then again, Digimon is kind of in the same... It's kind of the same deal as Sonic in a way. The first PlayStation game was more or less a 3D representation of the Tamagotchis. The second one, which I have on my channel if you wish to view it, is a literal dungeon crawler / RPG. The third game takes it to more of a traditional RPG, which is not a bad idea. The fourth game is a fucking shit show. And in that, you basically go around as a rookie, or eventually a mega for some reason, there's no intermediaries, and fight around with weapons like swords, axes, and the like. How the fuck is that Digimon? We've had 3 previous games which kind of set the tone, and then someone had to come in and smear their ass cheeks all over the fucking blueprints. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then there's the DS games, which pretty much take its notes from 3. Thankfully it wasn't 4. To take its notes from 3, make it a traditional RPG. Again, they did pretty good. But then after that, they just kind of dropped off the face of the earth until around the time that Redigitized showed up, which is the PSP game. Of course, we didn't get that in the States, so thanks for that, Japan. And then after a long while, we finally got Cyber Sleuth, which is the latest, one of the later ones. I believe there is another quote-unquote world game, but it's not my cup of tea. I've always liked the traditional RPGs. That may just be me. But I kind of like things that have a certain consecutive pattern. Just that some game series need consistency and some need to branch out a bit more. That's what I'm trying to reach from this. Not saying that only Pokemon, or only Sonic, or only whoever is the fucking culprit here. Some need to change, and some need to stick with fucking works. And companies, for some reason, don't want to do that. Whether it be too difficult to find a common niche, or some find it too difficult to move on to something else, it's really fucking up in the air. I wish I really didn't have to talk about it in a video about capturing small animals and stuffing them into tiny balls. But, rant over. Not gonna talk about it anymore, I promise. Find something else to talk about. But there are some series I like to actually see come back. Now this is a whole different topic than some game series that need to change or stay consistent. Some games that should come back, like Conquer, Death Jr., Banjo-Kazooie for fucking once. Because Microsoft isn't doing shit with the franchise. I mean, just sell it off if you're not going to do anything with it. Why are you holding on to something and not using it? Very wasteful in my eyes. I mean, you got the fucking people who make it, and yet you're forcing them to do shit like Connect games. What the fuck are you doing? Use their talents like you should. not making them make garbage. No one fucking liked the Kinect. It was a giant fucking failure. Mainly it's just that Microsoft is doing that shit, but then again, Capcom hasn't done shit with Mega Man beyond putting him in fucking Smash 4. I don't know what the hell is up with companies just thinking, yeah, we own this thing, we can make a lot of fans happy with this thing, but fuck it. Let's crank out another fucking Street Fighter for the 1000th time. Because, you know, the formula hasn't really changed all that much since Street Fighter 4. Yay, we got ourselves a Graveler. Right before we hit Lavender Town. And actually, in Pokemon Towers, we're going to be finding another member of our team. So, around this area, we're going to get ourselves the 3rd and 4th members. It's not going to be until we hit Fuchsia City that we get our 5th. And not until Cinnabar that we get our final one. We're going to be at this for a while. And now that we don't need Flash anymore, we can just ditch Clefairy. Or ditch Graveler, whatever. I'll keep Butterfree around for a little while. And something tells me I'll need Bellsprout later, so we got our spaces open. And also, if you need to change the name of your Pokemon, I believe it's in this house down here. Username later? Yes, you are. If you never need to change the nickname of your Pokemon, go inside the house and change your nickname. With that, let's head over here. This is where we're going to find our next team member. Right after we take care of this. Definitely have to do some off-screen training. Once I actually get the damn thing, considering it's not going to be all that powerful. Or up to where my other guys are. Pretty sure it's going to be at like level 16 or the like. In case you're wondering what I'm trying to catch, it's a Vulpix. Enough beating around the bush, enough whacking the bush, getting a Vulpix. That's going to turn it into a Ninetales. Of course, why would I keep it why would I keep it in its primary form? Except you do want to keep it in its primary form for a little bit, so it can actually learn some attacks, considering Ninetales can't learn anything beyond, like, Fire Spin, once it's evolved. Which is a bit sad. Yeah, why hasn't Capcom done anything with Mega Man? Clearly, people still like him. Shit, I don't think he's had a real good game until, he hasn't had a really good game for, like, how many years? Not for a while, at least. Last thing that had his name on it was that stupid Anniversary Collection, which only had, like, the first 6 games. Which is kind of lame, considering in the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox era, we had the Anniversary Collection, which had the first 6 games plus 7, plus 8, and the 2 arcade games, the Power Fighters and the Power Battle. So really, they're fucking backpedaling. They're going even back further. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Sandshrew, I don't want to deal with you. Yeah, I was right. It's around that level. 16 to 17. So I'm definitely going to be grinding off-screen for a while. Yeah, Vulpix, or if you're playing Red, or Growlithe, that's evolution. But Growlithe should be in the same area if you're playing Red. Problem is, its rate is kind of low. It's on the lower range. And they're gonna run into fucking Pidgeys! which should be Pidgeotos by this point. I really think people are struggling to complete the Pokédex that they're going to wait this far. Hi, Meowth. Wait that far from the first few routes to catch a goddamn Pidgey. When I catch a Pidgey, you catch it from the lowest level and build it up. Since it learns all of its better moves that way, including Sand Attack. Kinda sucks that Hero can't learn Sand Attack. I'd like to abuse the hell out of that, like they've abused it against me. And of course, the one I'm going to be going for in the Pokemon Tower is not the Ghastly family, it's actually Cubone. I'm eventually going to turn that into a Marowak. Just so I can have a ground type for my team. Give me a Vulpix, please. Maybe I'll have to get this one off screen. And of course, they're going to be names. I've named my first two members. Why wouldn't I do that for the rest of them? I like to keep consistency. Come on, just give it to me now, please. Pretty sure it's in this patch. I did look at it on like Cerebi, and it said it's in this patch. Maybe it's the patch or by Celadon. One of the two. Take a few more rounds of this before we finally call it a day. Because I've done enough ranting, raving, bitching, moaning. How much do people want to bet that people are going to be whining that I hate the series even though I said it's still good despite all of its flaws? I'm guessing a lot. No game series, no game, period, is without its flaws. There's no such thing as a perfect game. Hell, I keep hearing people praise Skyrim, and trust me, I played the game. It's not that great. In fact, it can be kind of boring. Everywhere you look, it's covered in fucking snow. Roots Oblivion had different areas. It's not always looking like a forest or looking like a fucking winter wonderland. Yeah, that's just not my kind of game. Probably. I've always... Finally! Thank you! You finally show up. Of course, it's at level 16. And... Poison Powder or Leech Seed? We're gonna do Leech Seed, because this thing should know Ember. Am I gonna attack it? No. Don't want to kill it. I don't. And how some people aren't into JRPGs. They think they're too linear. Even though they have side quests that take you pretty much everywhere on the fucking map. Yeah, I'm just thinking way too much about this. Okay, we'll spam this just in case. I don't want to attack it. I want it to be drained on its own. This is the final thing we do before we end things off. Definitely not taking into the rock tall, otherwise it might get killed off immediately. And I probably should have bought more Pokeballs. Probably. Hey, I still have Great Balls, so use them if need be. Yeah, and that's where it starts using Ember. Here's where I start chucking stuff. In vain hope of capture. Oh yes, first shot. Thank you. Alright, you want to nickname it? Yes. for people who watched my playthrough of Muramasa the Demon Blade, Yuzuruha, the fox follower that you have if you play in Kisuke's story. Ruha. And if I got it wrong, I can just rename it with the name Raider. But I'm pretty sure that's how you spell it. And it's about to die. Thank you, Bellsprout. You served your purpose. Now get the hell out of my party. Yay, we finally have our third member. By the time we come back, it's gonna be up with the rest of them. Up in level, anyway. Don't be surprised if some of the guys that are along this route, I don't have to fight them on video or anything like that, because a lot of them we've seen before. They always have the fucking Nidorands, the Pidgeys, the Rattatas, or the Clefairies, as we've seen. But you get the idea. I'm gonna put you in the first slot. Yay! But that's gonna be the end of my ramblings, and coincidentally the end of this video. So, next time in Let's Replay Pokemon Blue version, we're gonna come back after a bit of off-screen training, and I guess we'll head over to Salon City. We'll get the next badge. Just to make sure our guys stay under control and not go fucking crazy. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!